Having received his Kenyan passport 87 days after Jubilee administration plotted to unlawfully seize and destroy his travel documents, the Toronto-based Kenyan lawyer is now waiting for the lifting of red alerts by the current Ruto administration. True to his pre-election pledge, Dr. Ruto has started implementing what he promised the electorates, key among them being facilitating the return to Kenya of the illegally and forcefully and unconstitutionally exiled Kenyans like Miguna. The self-styled NRM General was controversially banished out of the country on flimsy grounds of beating revolutionary drums that then threatened to militate against the country's economic growth, as well as making it ungovernable in as long as the resistance movement lasted. Thanks to the mean-looking and hawk-eyed state machineries that delivered results with marked excellence, particularly when it comes to dealing with anti-government political and revolutionary mobilizers. Dr. Miguna was on February 2018 abducted, illegally detained, and forcefully removed from his motherland into the foreign land against his wish. Just before the unlawful deportation that was riddled with controversy, Miguna was on March 2018 sedated and forcefully exiled to Canada, where he currently lives. While in exile, the combative and firebrand lawyer turned political activist who boldly and mainly participated in Raila Odinga's mock swearing in has since been one of the fiercest critics of Uhuru's administration. More so after the NASA leader shook hands with Jubilee boss in what resulted in a complete demolition of the then government in waiting, shepherded by ODM Supremo Raila Odinga. Soon after his forced exile and destruction of his properties without forgetting the gross violation of his rights, M had sought legal redress through lawyer Nelson Harvey, who won him all the court cases in Kenya. Despite winning the court cases against the state and the top-ranking government officers, Uhuru's administration frustrated the enforcement of the court orders requiring it to pay Miguna for the damages amounting to a whopping Kenya shilling 7 million. In a recent tweet, lawyer Nelson Harvey wrote, and I quote, "Another big score for the rule of law as Dr. Miguna is issued with his passport in Canada." End of quote. The former LSK president added that the degree of damages of Kenya shilling 7 million by Kihalangwa, Matiang'i, and Kinoti jointly and severally should now be enforced by the three against the three. As Kenyans wait for the return of Miguna soon after the lifting of the red alerts with bated breath, questions abound as to whether the bellicose political activist will skirt around his radical views and revolutionary advances that could be construed by the authorities as subtly seditious agenda or not. To tackle these mind-nibbling questions, one needs to seek refuge in the Western maxim that goes, "A leopard does not change its spots," since subjecting the advocate to any rigorous character reform process amounts to a wild goose chase. At the time of preparing this piece, the controversial activist has issued a strongly worded ultimatum to the top security officers adversely mentioned in his 10 court cases and ordered to pay him for the damages to expedite the payment through his lawyers before he lands back in Kenya. This highlights the combative and aggressive, if not militant, nature of Miguna, especially when he seeks to advance his agendas in any way or any means. Reporting for GN2 Television from Eldoret, I am Athanas